Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Again, this is going to be a FIFA discussion. You guys have probably heard me say this a bunch of times, and to be honest with you guys, like, I guess I'm probably looked at as a negative person in this community, but we play. Like, I haven't streamed this game in like a week and a half, right? I used to stream this game like 8 hours a day minimum, right? When I used to play FIFA 15 or 16, right? And when I play this game nowadays, right? What does someone have in this game to look forward to? Like, I get that some of you guys like the whole menu stuff and all that jazz, but what's the point of the menu stuff if you don't use them in the gameplay? That confuses me, because, and again, I don't blame content creators for doing this because it makes sense. Like, if this was an option to do, then I would do the same, right? People have been doing SBCs. They've been unlocking cards from the SBCs, but they don't actually play with that card in the game. That's where we're at with FIFA right now. People would rather just complete the card in the league SBC and then not even use it in the game, right? I just hopped on right now. I couldn't play because my router was being weird. I just fixed it. I could have played games if I restarted. But when I started up my stream, right, I was like, I miss streaming, so I'm gonna hop on and stream because I miss streaming. And when I hopped on the game, I was like, what am I supposed to do, right? If I go play division rivals, if you're in Division 1, you come up against the same teams over and over again, right? If you don't have a god squad, it's just not fun at all, right? Because you're gonna have to try extra hard against the god squads. Like, I'm not complaining about having a god squad. You gotta hear me out first on this, okay? That's not fun to do. That is your only game mode that you have. It's just division rivals. Because foot drafts, guys, believe me when I tell you, man, because people always ask, like, why do I always play foot drafts? Guys, the only reason why I play foot drafts is because it's the only quote-unquote fun game mode in FIFA. But I have reached the point where foot drafts are not even fun to play. Because I don't want to go on FIFA and use the same players over and over again because I have to, right? I don't want to have to try hard every single game whenever I hop on. I don't want to have to face only tryhards, right? Some people are like, oh, you don't like the competition. Guys, you have to understand, man. I think people in the FIFA community don't understand how a gaming community works, okay? In Apex, you guys watch Shroud play, right? You guys watch Shroud play. I watched Shroud play the other day, and he was saying how he's so happy that Apex is free because he's not gonna he hopes to not match up against the same people over and over again. That's a gaming perspective, right? He's not gonna match up against the same people over and over again. When he's playing, you can see so many different times that he's facing people who are significantly less skilled than him, but he has fun in the game because he destroys the low tier players, the mid tier players, and the high tier players, right? He has a balance of all three, right? In FIFA, if you hop on right now and you're in Division 1, you only face tryhards every single game. That's the only option that you have, right? So the option of, hey, you know what? I want to try out this formation with these players. It's not even worth doing because every single person you come up against in the higher divisions is going to be doing the same exact thing. Low depth, let the defensive AI defend for them, control the CDM the entire game. For me personally, listen, I haven't played this game that much, right? I create the YouTube content consistently because I like to give you guys at least a video a day, right? But as a person, just a regular person, if you're not a content creator, right? As a regular person, how can you go onto a video game and play that meta and waste your own time doing that? I don't get that. That confuses me because that, for me, that, can I win the games? Sure. Is it fun to do though? No. How can when I'm defending, right? When you guys notice me defending, you don't see me just controlling the CDM and then just second man pressing the entire game because I need to feel like I'm playing. Am I putting myself at a disadvantage? Yes. But do I need to feel like I'm actually playing the game? Yes. Right? When I'm attacking, if I focus on attacking more than defending, I don't get rewarded for it. Because Counterattacking in this game is so effective, especially with the low depth defensive AI being effective. All of that stuff, right? This is just a rant. I'm just going on with different stuff. This isn't organized. I just need to give my thoughts on this, okay? Because I miss, the reason why I make these videos, right, is because I miss going on and just playing the game and having stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I used to play FIFA back in FIFA 15, 16, we're not going to talk about the inconsistent gameplay, whatever about that. Because even if they fix the gameplay, the game is boring to play, okay? Back in the day in FIFA 15 and 16, I used to talk about how when I was in Division 1, it was fun. Well, yeah, because I had like 8 different teams. In FIFA 15, if I were to open up my team on the Xbox right now, if I download the game, you guys would see all the teams that I had, right? I don't know if I sold them, but I had like more than 8 teams. League 1, EPL, Bundesliga, you name it, I had it, right? And that concept was fun because I had different teams because the matchmaking was open. You would assume, oh, but it's still Division 1. No, because it's very, very different, okay? Division 1, the way that it was set up back then, was that if you're in the top 3 divisions, right, that was the only game mode that you can play online, as is Division Rivals right now, and Foot Drafts, and Foot Champs, right? But the way that it was set up without the skill rating setup is that it was still open matchmaking. At some point, 2-3 months into the game, pretty much almost everybody was in Division 4, 3, 2, 1 at the very least, right? So you're facing open matchmaking against different opposition. And then sometimes, right, because I was able to stream like 10 hours a day, sometimes, maybe 2-3 times a day, I would come up against that elite player and I'll just be like, all right, guys, this guy's good, gotta, you know, sit forward and start to concentrate a little bit, right? But that was fine because, you know, every so often I would come up against a really good player and I was cool with that. I'm like, okay, guys, gotta try hard now. But it was fun because I was facing different calibers of players with different teams. It wasn't the same teams over and over and over again, right? That was FIFA 15, 16, I think, when they didn't add all the content and stuff, right? Back then, right? Anybody that remembers my content from back then, I always talked about how they needed gameplay content, right? Because I always told my stream every time I played, I'm like, guys, I like using different teams, but I need to look forward to doing something or getting something or having a different game mode or whatever it is. That's why when Foot Drafts came out, it was revolutionizing. Everyone was playing drafts. Everyone cared about the gameplay because they released a unique game mode in different gameplay, right? That's never been touched ever again ever since they released it, right? So with seasons or with divisions back in the day, that's the one thing I always used to talk about. I'm like, dude, like they need to add gameplay content to this game. Like as I play, I don't even, if I go through the Premier League, the Liga NOS, the Serie A, I should still want to go to the Norwegian League, the Super League. Like there needs to be gameplay content. There needs to be a way to collect players or get players by playing the game, right? You guys are going to say, oh, but you know, you could do that in Foot Champs and Division Rivals. You don't get enough coins to get multiple players in the game. You don't. No matter what anybody tells you, you do not get enough coins. It is not worth. This is why menu stuff overtakes gameplay stuff nowadays, okay? You do not get enough rewards to collect all the players in the game. And even if you get the players in the game, what is the purpose? What are you doing it for? You're doing it for nothing, right? Because you're only going to face sweats in Division Rivals. You're not going to have an open matchmaking where you can try out a different formation, maybe score some skilled goals against the shitty players or the mid-tier players, right? Maybe do some crazy skill moves here and there. You're not going to be able to do that because you have to play serious. The meta in FIFA has always been terrible, right? Even back then when I had to play the meta for FIFA 15, I had to play a specific way to get my wins, either hold on to possession, which is fine, right? Because you only do it once in a while. But having to do it every single game for Division Rivals and stuff isn't fun. I got my 2,000 Division Rivals points in Division 1 right now, and I have never felt an obligation to wanting to play Division Rivals ever again because the gameplay content isn't there, right? It's just, it's not there. Is it good as a competitive mode? Sure, but there's just nothing to look forward to playing. When you hop onto FIFA, right? What do you guys do? I'm asking you guys this question. Because if you're in Division Rivals, right, and you're in Division 4, 5, I could see why you have fun if you're bouncing up and down between wins and losses and you stay around that area. Sure, because that area you'll still come against some god squads for sure, but you'll still come up against like unique teams. These SPC cards, all these unique cards, I never see them being used in Division 1. It's always the same exact teams. The Contes, the Pogba, everyone's using the same thing, right? Which, again, listen, it's fine because that is a competitive game mode. But you don't have a regular game mode. You don't have a regular game mode, right? Let me tell you guys something about EA's content in FIFA, okay? Because I think this community, for the most part, is brainwashed when it comes to this stuff. You have to be, right? Because this is not content. This is like, okay, I'm gonna go on Nepenthes' tweet right now, right? I'm just gonna go on his tweet just for an example. Okay, so let me just go on Nep's tweets here. Okay, so this tweet right here, the only one true hope for that tweet is that it's a UCL tournament and is a new mode in FUT that is a casual cup mode. 100% would make the game bang. And that's true, it would make the game bang. Because you only have competitive in your game now, and that is incredibly boring, right? He's saying this. Afterwards, what does he start a thread on? He starts a thread on people playing on one depth, playing park the bus, they attack with their 2 or 4 players, and they come back in defense, and their stamina is completely fine. Nothing happens to their stamina, right? People have sold their souls. They have sacrificed the general experience of the game for a win. When that happens in your video game, your game is flawed. Okay? Because winning for me is not fun if the general experience wasn't good, right? When I play Apex Legends, or even back then when I played Fortnite, right? If I won a game of Apex Legends and I had 2 kills, that's not a fun win. Like, cool, I won. It means nothing to me because I only had 2 kills. But a game where I had like 8, 9, 10 kills, now we're talking, right? My general experience towards getting that win was better, right? I didn't sacrifice not playing the game, essentially, right, to get a win. Because that's not fun. It makes no sense to do. That's why when you see streamers and stuff, right, some of them will go, in Apex it works differently, because when you go to the less populated areas, you can still get gun engagements afterwards. You just want to get your loot first, and then you go for the gun engagements, right? That's different. The way that Apex was made was beautiful, right? They thought everything out really, really well, right? But in FIFA, right, what do you do when you hop on? What is there to actually do? Menu stuff? SBCs? For what? What is the purpose of doing those SBCs? To collect them and not actually play them in the game? Like I said, people who are content creators, and I don't judge them for this, because if you don't have to play the game and you just have to put your cards in and get the cards back and go from there, that's great, you know? But what's the point of that? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, when I hop on the game, I'm like, I don't want to play Division 1. I don't even want to make a team. I don't even want to make a team. Because EA this year are probably, like, as much as Net probably wants this, and as much as I've asked this since the beginning of the year, they're never going to add a good online tournament mode. They got the Champions League license and they did nothing with it. They just changed the colors of the cards. They actually have the logo on it now. For what? You already had man of the match cards before. It's the same shit. No one's going to see, oh, mine's a Champions League card when I'm playing in the game. No one cares about that. You already had that before. When you got the Champions League license, we were thinking, oh, maybe they're going to create like a really cool game mode, like a Champions League oriented game mode in Ultimate. No, they didn't do anything with it. They didn't do anything with it. The game is just not fun to look forward to playing because there's nothing to do. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to be that guy, but I have to be that guy. Listen, I just want to create content and every single day just do something unique. You know how the Champions League games are on right now? Liverpool versus Bayern Munich. The day before that game happens, I would do stuff on my stream. I'd be like, okay, guys, we're going to make like a Liverpool Bayern Munich hybrid, and we're going to try to win the cup with this team, right? Using different formations, blah, 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 blah. Make unique content that people are interested in, gameplay content that people are interested in. And then with that, they can look forward to, oh, maybe he'll get that record-breaking, ultimate, legendary Lewandowski card that is upgraded by 1 but has like really cool colors on it. Like, what do you have to look forward to? I don't know. I hopped on the game. I can easily go back on right now. Easily. Right? But the reason why I don't is because what's the point? What's the point of me hopping back on again? To play more drafts? Drafts are boring when you play it over and over again, right? Division rivals is the same teams over and over again, right? Everyone is abusing the game mechanics because they are sacrificing the general experience for the wins. And if you do not want to play that meta of having defensive AI all the way at the back, and you play more open FIFA where the person can counterattack against you, you don't have the CDMs in place, your back four is spread out more so he can go on counterattacks every single time. This is not fun, okay? EA just recently released an update for the game again, right? And the only update that they changed has been goalkeeper movement. Great. Shouldn't have been added into the game in the beginning. It should never have been in the game. It shouldn't even come across as a thought. Because 1v1 finishing last year, I complained about. And you made it even worse by allowing someone to move to a direction when my focus is to pass the defensive AI first. And once I get the angle, to just shoot it. To just shoot in the area that's open. And not only that, but your shooting isn't even accurate when you guess the other side that the goalie's not in. It makes no sense. I don't like playing this game right now because I feel like I have to abuse the game mechanics to enjoy it. And that's not fun for me to do. When I'm playing the game, I am at a disadvantage when I don't want to abuse the game mechanics. I hate that. I hate this game because there's nothing to do in it. Right? Since FIFA 15, you guys have yet to add gameplay content. Cool, you've added menu content. That's great. But you have no gameplay content. You have no means of collecting players by playing the game. For fun. Cool, have your competitive mode, but have good game modes in general. Why don't you do that? Oh, cool, but EA has to make their money. I get that, guys. I get that. But even Madden does a better job of this. I tweeted out one day, right, that the community doesn't do enough to change the gameplay situation in FIFA and to change FIFA in general. And I had the dude that did the podcast, don't remember his name anymore, come to me and is like, we do enough. And I'm like, you don't have to take offense to what I'm saying, but we do not do enough. Okay? It's not about we do nothing. We don't do enough. There's two different things. There's a difference between we don't do anything and a difference between we don't do enough. The we don't do enough part is people still spending on FIFA points for this game. Why? There's no reason. You're just helping them not change the game. You're literally helping them not change the game. Sure, I buy the game. As does any other football lover does. They buy the game. Don't play it anymore. Where does EA make the most of the revenue? It's from transactions, right? Where does Apex and Fortnite make their transaction? Because their games are free. They make it through people buying the little consumables. The I just picked my nose with my thumb with the little skins and stuff that they have. What does FIFA have? You pay for players, right? And then they're gone next year. And you're going to do the same thing over and over again. What's the point? If you spend money on a game that is not broken, gameplay content, right? Those two big ones, understandable, spend as much money as you want, but I don't get it, right? Hashtag fix FIFA did nothing. They sold like a, I forgot what it was. I think it was the 50Ks or the 100Ks in like 5 minutes when they did that fix FIFA thing. You know what the Battlefront community did? They had an outrage. It was trending on Reddit. We get different gameplay. I have video proof showing delay of my players moving in directions I never moved for 5 seconds, right? Nothing happens. We still play the game. We still spend our money. We're gonna still spend on the FIFA points. If the FIFA community moved to Battlefront, they wouldn't have had that same outbreak in terms of what people were saying. They wouldn't have had it. Because people would have been like, "Oh, I need to pay this much for Luke Skywalker? Okay. I'll just spend the money." You have to pay for gameplay content. Right? If you play the game right now, Phil SKS, the team he had 2 years ago, and the team he has now, yeah, it's FUT champs and whatever. And I think FUT in general needs to be completely revamped, right? And again, some people will see me in a negative sense when it comes to this. I get it, right? And I'm one of the very few people who actually do this, but they really don't give a fuck about you guys. But you guys still give them money. You buy the game, sure, you try it out, it's not good, you stop playing. Fair play. But when you complain, you still give them FIFA points. Bro, the promos that come out, that prime icon moments, people I see complaining about the gameplay, they're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, ah." In my head, I'm like, "Oh, maybe gameplay no, they're in packs for you to open more packs to get. They're in SBCs for you to trade in cards that you still have to get money. You have to spend money to get players." I'm not going to say what are we doing, because listen, man, I buy the game, I create content on it, making extra revenue on the side. I already told you guys this. You guys know. You guys know my stance on this. Making extra revenue on the side from YouTube, hey, can't go wrong, But spending FIFA points on this game, I haven't done for 4 or 5 years, man. I did it in FIFA 15 once. Spent I think it was like $100. I was like, $100. I'm gonna play FIFA for the rest of the year, so who cares, right? Never again, man. Spent that money. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get shit. Okay, $100, not gonna get shit. All right. Keep playing. No improvements. What's the point? Why am I gonna spend money on the game? That's it. I just want to have a little conversation because I haven't streamed this game in a week and a half, and I went on today, and I felt the energy in my body pouring out of me. I was just in the menus, and I felt the energy in my body pouring out of me. And I was happy that my rudder wasn't working, because I was like, you know what? Why am I going to play right now? What's the point? I'm going to play a draft and lose money. You know how much stuff you could do with a football game? So much stuff. But you know why it doesn't ever progress? Because they still make their money. Yeah, they make their money on the sales of the game, sure. But it's that FIFA points. That's where they make their real money. Right? Spend the FIFA points if you make a good game. Hey, it makes sense, right? Apex Legends, people want to... It's a free game, It's a pretty good game for a free game. Some people will spend like $30, $40. Hey, I'll just get some cosmetics, Some people won't spend a dime, but they'll still play it because it's a fun game. Still make the video content on it, get more downloads, get more people to spend more on cosmetics. Because that's the balance, right? When you make a good video game, even Fortnite, I didn't like Fortnite, but it's a good video game. It is. It genuinely is a good video game. Nothing else to say. That's pretty much it. I know there's a lot of pauses and stuff for this, but the state that this game has gotten into, like I said, before FIFA even released, I had this discussion with Spencer when it came to division rivals. I'm like, dude, they're gonna take out divisions and they're gonna put in division rivals. We're fucked. Spencer was like, oh, but it's more content. That's why I even talked to him on the podcast about that. He's like, oh, it's more content. No, you're making the game worse. FUT champs, the inclusion of FUT champs made your game worse. And you're going to include division rivals, which is, God bless it, a great concept, right? That's what your competitive should have been, but then you don't have regular game modes. Where's the logic in that? see me as a negative person as much as you guys want. Some of you guys want, but this game fucking sucks. You know? That's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.